Did anybody here see South Park last night? Just curious.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at spoofs of influential individuals that notably incensed the targets. For the purposes of this list, public figures can include entertainers whose brand is defined by socio-political engagement, but not celebrities mostly focused on their art.
I would have to say Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody?
Oh. Yeah.
What happened?
He didn't take it all that well.
Right.
The Col Bear Report, Rove.
They want a head on a platter.
Wait, a head on a platter? Then let's give them
the ham.
In 2011, Stephen Colbert established a political action committee to demonstrate the subject on his show. Unable to get conservative political consultant Rove to help out, the Colbert Report regularly interviewed a loaf of canned ham wearing a pair of glasses. This ended when the 2012 re-election of President Obama prompted Colbert to, quote, kill Ham Rove on the air.
What are you waiting for? Kill him!
Why don't you do it?
I can't do it, it's not kosher.
Fine. I'm sorry, Ham Rove. One of us is dead meat, and you already are.
The real Rove then responded at last in an interview with ABC News. He initially dismissed the parody, but found Ham Rove's death an extreme gesture of Colbert's disdain and even a threat. Either way, he was not amused.
I don't know whether that was working out his inner feelings or encouraging maybe somebody to maybe mimic him or just sort of being funny, but there was a little bit of, anxiety in his stabs there. So
the closest Colbert came to an apology was donating his Super PAC's funds to charity in the late Ham Rove's honor. In living color, Spike Lee.
You like?
No.
Come on, you gotta like.
No,
Come on, look, you gotta like.
I don't.
Please, baby, please. Please, baby, please, baby, please.
Fox's sketch comedy show In Living Color would touch some nerves with its spoofs. In a 2019 retrospective for The Hollywood Reporter, actor David Alan Grier named a particularly shocking critic. Prominent filmmaker and political commentator Spike Lee was reportedly furious about Tommy Davidson's depiction of him fighting unruly customers at a video store named Spike's Joints.
Now I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, hey, now's a great time to throw a trash can through the window. Well, I couldn't agree with you more. That's why I got trash cans in the back for $15.
This play on the film Do the Right Thing was deemed too exaggerated and insulting to Lee's serious portrait of race relations in urban America. Some movies may be a little too reverent to mock so flippantly. Of course, Lee, who apparently didn't like In Living Color at all, can be a bit too outspoken at times.
It wasn't widespread, that sentiment.
Just vocal.
It wasn't that vocal either.
Really?
Mm-mm.
But I guess it was just enough that the media picked up on it and it got a lot of attention, which is generally what happens in those cases.
Saturday Night Live, Sarah Palin.
It's got to be all about job creation, too. Also, too, shoring up our economy and putting Fannie and Freddie back on the right track. And so healthcare reform and reducing taxes and reining in spending, because Barack Obama,
Most believe that the former governor of Alaska was always a good sport about her recurring spoof on SNL. Debuting during Sarah Palin's 2008 vice presidential run, Tina Fey's quirky exaggeration of the politician's mannerisms and perspective made the comedian an icon.
Hillary and I don't agree on everything.
I believe that diplomacy should be the cornerstone of any foreign policy.
And I can see Russia from my house.
Palin told Sean Hannity that she found the bit, quote, hilarious, and lovingly dressed as Faye for Halloween. But in James Andrew Miller's book, Live from New York, she revealed that she thought the parody made her look like, quote, an idiot. Palin's cameo on SNL was not a peaceful gesture, but a counter. The truth is that Palin felt exploited by Faye, and that the spoof helped kill her political career. It also helped make both women become bigger public figures.
You can't let Tina go out there with that woman. She goes against everything we stand for. I mean, good Lord, Lauren. They call her, what's that name they call her? Cara, what do they call her again, Tina?
That'd be Caribou Barbie.
Caribou Barbie. Thank you, Tina.
The Daily Show, Bill O'Reilly.
Are you happy now, Stuart? Are you happy?
happiness is not what comes by me, but let me say this. Your humility has moved me.
The relationship between political commentator Bill O'Reilly and political satirist Jon Stewart seemed civil on one side. The liberal Stewart's hosting style and skits on The Daily Show regularly poked at his conservative counterpart. Nonetheless, O'Reilly made a number of appearances on the talk show and regularly had Stewart on his The O'Reilly Factor. During a particularly heated debate in 2024, O'Reilly turned to the audience and remarked,
"I truly hate it, but I don't show it.
You hold it very well.
I don't put it.
No.
This may have been in jest, but it surely comes from a place of real frustration with Stewart's snarky comedy. 4 years earlier, Stewart told the New York Times that giving O'Reilly a platform was perhaps the worst part of The Daily Show.
So my job as a journalist is to say...
when did you get that job? Too easy. You really make it too easy. We're going to talk tomorrow. We got to go. This is too long.
The Simpsons, Morrissey.
I step out my door and I take a deep breath, turn back inside and pray for my death, 'cause everyone is horrid except me and possibly you.
The former The Smiths frontman rose to the forefront of left-wing political activism in the UK and beyond. In recent years, however, many progressives have rejected Morrissey for his support of British nationalist sentiments. This disillusionment was paralleled in the 2021 The Simpsons episode Panic on the Streets of Springfield, in which Lisa discovers that rock star Quillaby has abandoned his vegan and anti-racist views.
Because everything is horrid except meat, so slag off to you!
Morrissey quickly took to his personal blog to decry this misrepresentation of his complicated image. His manager also released a statement rejecting accusations of racism and asserting the singer's dedication to animal rights. Morrissey seems to have grown a thick skin with critics, but prefers that the critiques be accurate.
Shut your gobs, you wankers!
Woohoo! Wankers!
Can't you see this show is just a cash grab? I'm only here because I lost my fortune suing people.
Doonesbury, Dan Quayle. Since the beginning of American counterculture, Gary Trudeau's comic strip has tackled many politicians along Michael Doonesbury's coming of age. The most memorable reaction came from Dan Quayle in 1991.
That was really uncalled for, Senator.
You're the one that was making the comparison, Senator.
Doonesbury depicts the then U.S. Vice President as an actual quail feather involved in a drug trade. This capitalized on claims from 2 incarcerated drug dealers that were ultimately proven false. Trudeau's platform for this conspiracy theory caused Quayle to go on a rant during a morning conference shortly before the offending strips were published. This was just part of the cartoonist's private feud with the Bush family and administrations, dating back to his and George W.'s mutual Yale days. Ironically, Quayle made the biggest public spectacle.
Which is very unpresidential, and it elevated me way beyond my importance in the national conversation.
The Boondocks, Tyler Perry.
With that dress, that wig, and these beautiful muscular gifts from God, I have built an empire, and soon I will crush Ice Cube, and my supremacy of Black Hollywood will be complete.
Entertainment magnate Tyler Perry may upset some people with the quality of his work, but he tends to be moderate in his opinions. The animated sitcom The Boondocks still went pretty hard on him through the stand-in Winston Jerome. The episode Pause follows the making of one of Jerome's films and characterizes him as internally racist, religiously fanatical, and secretly gay.
Jesus says the scene would have more impact if you grabbed Mardukes and kissed her deep on the lips. Kiss? Hold on, Jesus said that? Jesus said that we need to kiss passionately so the audience can feel our love. Change it in the script.
Praise Jesus' rewrite.
Perry was so offended by this parody that he pressed Turner Broadcasting System to pull the episode from reruns. There was even a disputed rumor that he had a hand in the Boondocks' eventual cancellation. The incident is still a testament to both the man's power and the limits of his tolerance for criticism.
Cut! This isn't working. I cannot work like this anymore. I've worked with Jesus.
South Park, Donald Trump.
The small town of South Park, Colorado is protesting against the president. The townspeople claim that the president, who is a great man.
A great man.
Great guy. We know he's probably watching. And we are just reporting on this town in Colorado that's being sued by the president, and they are fighting back.
And just to be clear, we don't agree with them.
No.
Spoofs of celebrity businessman Donald Trump have skyrocketed since his election to President of the United States in 2016 and 2024. He can hardly keep up with it all, but often publicly condemns such prominent critics as Saturday Night Live.
And I actually do have a replacement plan, okay? I just read about it this week. It's a terrific plan, just great. It's called the Affordable Care Act.
That's the same thing as Obamacare, and if you repeal it, 20 million people will lose their health insurance. I mean, people could die.
Listen, sweetheart, I'm about to be president. We're all gonna die. Next question.
Alec Baldwin's impersonation was still nicer than the 2025 South Park episode Sermon on the Mount. Trump is depicted as a deranged tyrant and Satan's lover, as in the show's earlier spoofs of Saddam Hussein.
You remind me more and more of this other guy I used to date. Like, a lot. Like, you guys are exactly alike.
This was writer-director Trey Parker's extreme response to Paramount Global's settlement in a defamation suit by Trump. Though the president didn't directly review the episode, members of his administration have represented his intense outrage. At a San Diego Comic-Con panel, Parker offered only a sarcastic apology.
Guys, did you anticipate the reaction today? Have you been following it? What do you make of it?
We're terribly sorry.
Saturday Night Live, Barbara Walters. Journalist and television personality Barbara Walters was highly respected throughout her long career. She was also known for a slight speech impediment, especially after Gilda Radner's exaggeration in a 1975 sketch on Saturday Night Live.
Dr. Kissinger, in conclusion, there is one thing that really irritates me about you. After 40 years of being in this country, why do you still talk with that silly accent?
Baba Wawa became a recurring character on the show and one of Radner's career-defining routines. Walters, however, was deeply hurt by this mockery of the speaking and interviewing style that made her an icon. That is, until her young daughter got her to, quote, lighten up on the matter.
Cecily, I'm a serious person. I'm not like some fake anchor like you or Colin.
Oh, but you're a co-host on The View.
That's a fair point, yeah.
Walters went on to embrace Baba Wawa, as the inside joke left her reputation unscathed. Still, it's hard enough to be a trailblazer without being a seminal spoof of broadcast journalists.
No, I think you're being very reasonable. Harry Wiesner. $5 million. I'm rich. I can do anything I want in television.
Excuse me.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Hustler, Jerry Falwell. Publishing provocateur Larry Flynt frequently tested the boundaries of decency in American media.
Look, Moses freed the Jews, Lincoln freed the slaves. And Larry Flynt with Hustler magazine would like to free a lot of neurotics. Besides, I think a copy of Hustler magazine is a lot cheaper than a psychoanalyst anyway.
A 1987 issue of the adult magazine Hustler took aim at a supposed champion of decency, televangelist Jerry Falwell, with a fake interview about how he lost his virginity. A footnote asserted that the seedy article was, quote, not to be taken seriously. Falwell wound up taking it seriously all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States.
The question you have before you today is whether a public figure's right to protection from emotional distress should outweigh the public interest in allowing every citizen of this country to freely express his views.
There, it was formally ruled that any sufficiently clear parody of a public figure is protected speech. Flynt's landmark victory thus opened the door for some courageous comedy, whether the subject, or really anyone with taste, liked it or not.
If this freedom don't exist for some of us today, it may not exist for any of us tomorrow.
What are your favorite public figure parodies and responses from the parodied? Give us your riff in the comments.
Please trust me, it's not sour grapes, but rather that another network recognizes in me a great talent for delivering relevant news stories with crystal clarity to millions of Americans.